The anesthesia was supposed to pull me under. It didn't. Through the haze of bright light and metal instruments, I heard them. "Is his wife in the waiting room?" "Yes, sir." "Perfect. After he's out, give her the envelope with the real X-rays. She paid extra to know." Every word carved through the fog in my skull. She paid extra to know. I kept my eyes closed, breathing slow, letting the sedative pretend to work. The dentist's gloved fingers brushed against my jaw, but my mind had already left the room. It was somewhere else, dark, cold, awake. When they rolled me out, I played the part, limp, unconscious. 2 hours later, I followed her car, my wife. She parked by the old oak field near the pharmacy. I watched her through the windshield as she tore open a small white envelope. Her hands trembled, not from shock, but from eagerness. Inside, I caught a glimpse of black and white film. X-rays. Mine. I waited. I needed to see her face when she looked at them. When she did, she smiled. A small secret smile, the kind you give to the truth you've been waiting to confirm. And that's when I knew. Whatever was inside that envelope, it wasn't about my teeth. For days, I told myself it meant nothing, that maybe it was some billing confusion, some insurance detail she wanted to clarify. But her behavior shifted, subtle, rehearsed. The soft tone, the careful questions. "Do you feel different lately?" she asked one night. "What do you mean?" "Just health-wise." Her eyes wouldn't meet mine. I said no. She smiled again, that same soft, knowing curve of her lips. That night I stood in the bathroom staring at the reflection of a man I suddenly didn't recognize. I traced my jawline, the stitches where the wisdom teeth once were. What could an X-ray reveal that she would pay extra for? A week later, she started sleeping with her phone face down. Her laptop password changed. At first, it was the kind of suspicion that whispers. Then it became a voice, clear, insistent, merciless. So I started watching. She'd leave the house at noon for appointments, return with eyes too bright, cheeks too warm. And the dentist, Dr. Palmer, called twice, just checking on your healing process. His tone had a familiarity it shouldn't. That was when the voice inside me stopped whispering. It began calculating. I requested a copy of my dental file. The receptionist hesitated before handing it over. The envelope she gave me was light, too light. No X-rays, just paperwork. So I went back that night. The clinic lights were off, the glass doors locked. But the records room faced the rear parking lot. It took one crowbar and 15 seconds. Inside the filing cabinet, I found it. My name scrawled on the tab. The real envelope. There were 4 X-rays. 3 of them ordinary. The 4th, different. The faint white lines of bone, but something else layered beneath. Barely visible. Letters. Embedded in the film itself, faint but there. DNA test complete. Non-paternal result. I didn't understand it first. Then my stomach turned. She hadn't been checking on my health. She'd been confirming a secret she'd buried for years. Our daughter wasn't mine. I drove home in silence, my knuckles white on the wheel, the world folding into a single, cold point of focus. The next morning, I placed the envelope on the kitchen table. She came down in her robe, smiling like nothing had changed. I watched her pour coffee. "Palmer called again," I said quietly. Her hand froze mid-air. I slid the envelope toward her. Her eyes flicked to it, then to me. Color drained from her face. She didn't speak. She didn't have to. The way she gripped the table edge was enough. "Tell me," I said. She exhaled, shaking. "It was before you and I. It was a mistake." I stared at her. "No," I said. "It was a choice." Silence. She cried then. Quiet, restrained sobs. The kind of guilt that's more about being caught than being sorry. I didn't raise my voice, didn't move, Just watched her unravel in front of the evidence she'd bought to protect herself. 2 days later, I met Dr. Palmer in his office. He smiled when he saw me. "Good to see you recovering well." I placed the X-ray on his desk. His smile vanished. "I know," I said. He tried to explain, words tripping over themselves, how he never meant for it to go that far, how he didn't know until she came to him. I let him talk. Then I leaned forward and whispered, "I sent copies of these to the medical board, to her parents, to every mutual friend we have." He froze. "Whatever happens next," I said, "you'll live with it, the way I did." I stood and walked out. Didn't look back. That night, she called. I didn't answer. The next day, she came by to collect her things. I watched her pack in silence. No words, no closure, just two strangers surrounded by the wreckage of their lies. When she left, I sat on the same couch where we'd once talked about names for our unborn child. The house was too quiet now. But in that silence, I found something close to peace. Not forgiveness, not healing, just control. And as I burned the last X-ray in the sink, the film curled and blackened, its secrets turning to ash, I realized some truths aren't meant to be buried. They're meant to destroy.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.